Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. If you're an iPhone user, you have an Apple ID. And if you're an Android user, you have a Google account that is linked to a Gmail. And if by chance you're one of the very few people that are still holding out and holding on to a Windows phone, you have a Microsoft account. All three of these tech giants have central databases that are linked to that account. It stores your messages, your app usage, your phone usage, and much more. Not to mention that major manufacturers such as Samsung also have their own IDs. So when you're using your mobile phone, you have lots of accounts that you're logging into, and you're turning over your data and your usage to these companies. However, the idea of a centralized account storing your mobile data in one centralized database is really not in the spirit of Web3. Today, we're going to discuss what a Polygon ID is and how it offers a decentralized solution to the previously mentioned accounts. Back in July, the Nothing phone was launched featuring Polygon ID. This uniquely designed phone was covered by many of my favorite tech YouTubers. However, Polygon ID is what caught my attention. Why is that a big deal? Well, let's hear exactly what Polygon has to say about it. So we're going straight to the source.
As the boundaries between our offline and online lives continue to blur, the significance of one's digital identity is becoming more and more apparent. Currently, it's difficult to prove your identity without revealing sensitive, private information. Polygon ID offers a decentralized, self-sovereign, and privacy-focused identity management solution for Web 2 and Web 3, powered by zero-knowledge technology. It enables users and enterprises to maintain privacy and retain full control over their digital identity. Thanks to zero-knowledge proofs, everyone using Polygon ID can prove any aspect of their identity on-chain without having to disclose personal information. Where can you verify your identity with Polygon ID? The answer? Pretty much everywhere. Moreover, differently than centralized identity management solutions, it allows any user to create zero-knowledge claims, guaranteeing freedom of expression for users, issuers, and verifiers. Polygon ID lays the groundwork for societal transformation by providing a platform that makes freedom of expression, digital inclusion, and programmable privacy finally possible. The future of digital identity is here. Stay tuned for more.
So that was very interesting. The part that really jumps out is the zero knowledge proofs. And if you're not sure what exactly that means is you're able to verify who you are without disclosing anything. All that information is not stored on a database. So it's going to be stored with the individual user, their particular account, using their wallet, and then they can issue what is shared to whom. So think of it like when you're verifying your ownership of an NFT to get into a particular channel on a Discord. Well, you don't necessarily have to say what your Twitter account is, what your email address is, who you are, or anything of that nature. All you do is you simply go in and then you sign that transaction using the wallet, and then it checks the blockchain to make sure those NFTs are associated with that particular wallet, and it can verify that you are an owner, can go into the specific channels that are only visible to the owners. So no information is shared with the project, Discord, or anyone of that nature. So you know when you call into, let's say, a bank or any other company for that matter, and they'll ask you, well, what is your mother's maiden name? Your last 4 digits of your social security number? What was the address that this was opened at? Or any of those identifying informations? Well, the reason why they're doing that is because there's a lot of people that are taking people's identities, they're getting control of their accounts, and so forth. But what always got me was why they even ask that information when they're calling in to pay a bill. As if some mass vigilante is running around paying people's bills. That was something I never understood. You call in to make a payment and they say, okay, please verify certain things. I was like, okay. Well, anyways, going back to the whole thing, as far as identity theft, that is a very real thing, even more so in the digital world. But now with this digital ID, you don't have to jump through hoops or anything. You simply sign a transaction and it allows people to see that, yes, this is the person who should be able to access this account. And when I think about it, even with these phones, for example, in Jamaica, every single time someone in Jamaica gets a new phone, they are opening these new accounts. So although there's only 3 million people on the island, I'm pretty sure there's probably about 30 million Gmail accounts, because each time they get a new phone, they don't use the Gmail most times. So what ends up happening is people start a new account and they log in. It's not like you're transferring those contacts, what most people would do in the States or whatever. It's like those things are saved on the phone directly and they're not using the iCloud. So every single time, since they're not using that Gmail, they're going to set up a new account. And I can even think of my father. I personally have set up probably about 5 different Gmails for him. Every time he gets a new device, I start to store that information for him, knowing very well he's going to lose his phone. He asks someone else to set up something for him, and then they end up forgetting whatever that password is. So he gets a new phone, and guess what? Either I'm going to restore one of the old ones, or I'm going to have to set up something new for him. So that is something that's very common here in Jamaica, and I know around the world it's the same thing. And let's just say something that is a little bit more prevalent for the tech-savvy person who might have access to their Gmail, their Apple ID, and all those different things. Have you ever been hacked on either Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media platforms? You have to go through hell to actually get back into your account. You have to verify all sorts of information. However, just imagine if you were able to simply sign a transaction, just like how this Polygon ID is. Well, that is what a zero knowledge proof is, because just like how you're able to get access to those channels on Discord, you can sign something to give you access back to your account. And in reality, this is way more secure than having a password or even a cell phone linked to it, because I can think of even multiple people that I know, how these hackers or scammers end up getting a hold of their account, even though they have a 2-factor authentication using a text, is they send them a message as someone pretending to be a friend or a family member, and they start up some sort of conversation to make them think that, yes, they're going to do something in order to send them a text message. And that is how they end up getting that phone number. Then the passcode enabled to reset that password, and that is how they end up hijacking these accounts. Now, that might sound silly, but I've actually been present when one actually happened, and just by dumb luck, it didn't go through. So as silly as that might sound, you might be thinking, well, how could anyone possibly give that up? It's sort of the same thing as how people can give up their seed phrase. But as this whole Web3 matures and people start to understand, never give out your seed phrase. They will never ask for it. No application that is legitimate, no NFT project. And they start to understand that, well, they know that they'll protect that seed phrase. So I see a day and time when there's going to be these IDs that are associated with individuals, so there's that zero knowledge proof, but that is not going to be a regular wallet where there's NFTs and crypto stored in it. The only purpose of these IDs are going to be able to identify ownership. So going forward, whether it is Polygon ID or Unstoppable Domains, what they're doing with a real ID as far as the digital identity in Web3, that's basically what they're doing with their domain names, or any other company for that matter. I think that is the direction that we're going in. So I'd love to know, what are your ideas of all this? What are your thoughts? Please feel free to let me know at Tropic Vibes on Twitter. But as usual, I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3. So until next time, later. The Nifty Business Arrow is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.